Yeah, que lo que.
It's like I was so early on this and kind of so in front of it that it's exciting in one sense and terrifying on the other. That this is it could be a flash in the sense that a vaccine gets announced and people don't need this. Um, but I don't know. I don't think that's the case. I think we're smarter than that to see even with like the flu vaccine, it's still a recurring issue every year. And the way these devices work, I could see the use continue beyond COVID, even in a environment like a preschool where you have tons of kids interacting and touching things, and they want to bring in the devices and disinfect the preschool before the next day. A gym. I mean, it's a no-brainer. The use is going to be very easy. So that's the benefit, is that as soon as I show somebody how it works and what it does, it's an immediate. They're just shocked. They're amazed at what it can do, and they want to implement it immediately. And the initial idea was to bring the company in as a service and do like a daily or weekly disinfection service. But our first demonstration was with the actual mayor of Woodbridge. So we showed the mayor of Woodbridge, the city business manager, and like the heads of the police, EMS, and fire, how do we can disinfect the inside of a police car, and that blew their mind. So just to give you like an idea, right now Woodbridge, at the after every person goes inside of a police vehicle, what happens is they have to take it to the depot, and they actually have to wipe it down and disinfect the entire vehicle, and at that point bring it back into service. That's for a police car. Now, for an ambulance, they have to take the vehicle out like overnight. They take the vehicle out, they disinfect it, they bring another vehicle. So that's a huge cost for them. Uh, and they were testing all sorts of chemicals. And there's computers inside of the police vehicles. There's computers inside of the ambulances that they couldn't spray. So it's kind of like a half measure. And one of the chemicals they used, they actually put it on the plastics in the interior of the car, and it completely destroyed one of the vehicles very quickly.
Jesus.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was able to show them the one that kind of really blew their mind. I used the small handheld unit. This one is 2 feet,
Okay.
has a handle attachment. And then I use the same attachment point with the optional wheels to do the mats. So I showed them that one over like the steering wheel and the dash, and how we can disinfect in under 4 seconds for COVID. So it was like a 2 second exposure with the UVC light at distance, and it could disinfect 99% for COVID. And then I did a demonstration for MRSA, which is super hard to disinfect in a hospital setting. And that required 50 millijoules per centimeter squared. So that's a scientific measurement of the actual UVC energy. And they make a card that actually measures that. It's a UVC dosimeter. And I showed them how to do that in under 22 seconds. And then I showed them for C. diff, which takes 100 millijoules, which is roughly 8 times the amount than COVID, right? And
Okay.
I did that in 48 seconds, almost 55 seconds, with the same handheld unit. And that's the smallest unit that I have right now.
Yeah, it's not even the
Then
ones back there yet, right?
no, so then this one here is 4 feet long with two lights. This one I showed them going over both seats in the front of the vehicle, on how we can disinfect the entire inside of the vehicle in under a few seconds. So even if it takes them a minute, it's super quick. And then the big one, the 4 light version, that's 4 light high output. We put that on a dolly cart and rolled it up to the side of the vehicle, and you could do the entire back seat and shine it into the front seat and disinfect. Again, 60 seconds, you're disinfecting 99.999%. So that's 6 log reduction. That's a hospital grade disinfection. You're not, you cannot achieve that without this kind of technology.
Yeah, man. I feel like that was so much to unpack. I followed it all because I love the idea, and I just like so. First of all, my infatuation of it comes from how modular you made it.
Yep.
Because it has so many use cases, right? Um, I'm not exactly knowledgeable on UV, but again, I followed like a little bit of articles and posts and stuff, because you want to stay hip on what's effective against something that's causing this pandemic. So the
Sure.
one thing that I kept seeing was UV. You see all these little products that are being sold to you by Amazon now for you to put your phone and your keys. That's like little UV holders. And I
Yep.
was looking at it, I was like, how long is it gonna take for us to just like figure somebody who just brings like a UV lightsaber and just starts like cleaning things and it's
For sure.
it's like we got Elon Musk. He's probably gonna that was me thinking. I'm like he'll probably come out with just like a UV flamethrower or something.
Yeah,
Something
for sure.
something completely wacky.
Yeah,
But
and the it's out there, right? The technology's been there for 60 years. It's not like the UV technology is new, but it's so expensive. That was the big thing. Is like you're not going to buy $100,000 robot to come, inside of your home or your business. It's just
exactly.
not viable.
Exactly. So miniaturizing that and like bringing it down to a manageable level before it's like accessible to everybody is like where we were anyway. Like exactly what you're doing is what we needed, because I think about, like you're saying, the mats at the gym. Even
Yep.
before COVID, we were prone to every type of fungal infection you could think of, just from
Sure.
uh, like the sweat being exchanged, people walking around, barefoot, just
Yeah, you
anything,
had to put a
just
lot of trust into your training partners that they kept themselves clean. The school is immaculately clean.
of
These guys do
course.
such a good job keeping it clean that's watching their the way they disinfect the mats. They're super stringent about it.
Yeah,
But
shout
you're
out to Hollis
putting
Gracie here in Old Bridge.
for sure Hollis Gracie, 516 right there. I always laugh. I say, just mention my name, you get 30 days free. Uh, that's from the
You
Fighter
got
and
to
the
work
Kid
it in the
podcast.
pitch. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I don't know if you can even say his name anymore if the guy got canceled.
Oh man.
Um, yeah, so yeah, with like the Hollis Gracie Academy there, and what, but just in a hand to hand kind of grappling environment, even beyond COVID, it's going to have a use for sure. I showed that to actually Luca Tella. Luca is head instructor at Henzo Gracie Upper West Side, and he said, "Al, this is amazing what you did." And I value Luca's word because he's kind of the CEO of Galler. He's the brains behind Gracie Mag, and he runs the Upper West Side School from zero to I think 500 students in under 6 to 8 months.
Okay.
So incredible, business sense. And he goes, Al, this is amazing what you made. Like this is something that will be the gold standard for the mat disinfection going forward.
Yes, sir,
And
man. And
yeah,
on top of that, like I was doing my wave nightlife thing, and that's all being outside in groups and stuff. And I recently saw that you were at where was it, in New Brunswick?
yeah, the Stress
Um,
Factory
at the
Comedy Club.
stress, and you were that's a part of nightlife, So immediately it's like everything you're doing is touching the little parts of things just in my life. Everything that I was doing pre-COVID could
Yep.
benefit from what you're creating.
Yeah,
And
so that was a perfect case, like a tech demonstration on how to use it in a live entertainment setting. Tons of people, right? They're still doing so. Stress Factory was closed for I believe 4 months. They just recently started doing outdoor shows at about 25% capacity. And so the owner there is Vinny Brand. He's very, kind of local New Jersey comic legend. He's been running that place forever. And them being shut down, and then this, 25% capacity, it's talks of, oh, they're going to shut down, they're going to close forever. And I love live comedy. If anybody knows me, I'm constantly quoting comics. I like to laugh all day long if I can. And I've been to that place so often, and I follow live comedy so much. I was like, I can let me show them that I could do something that's going to help. And so we asked Vinny. I asked Vinny straight up. I said, "Do you mind if I come in and do a demonstration with the UVC, disinfection of the seating area?" We did the green room where the comics are in between shows. We did the microphone stand, the bathrooms, the ATM, and just showed him how it could be utilized. And I just brought the small handheld unit. I didn't even bring the big units to show them like how they could leave them in spaces overnight or anything. And then we asked Andrew Schultz, who's probably one of the biggest comedians right now.
during the pandemic for
Definitely
sure.
huge. He's
He's
million
killing
million
it.
plus followers, killing it. on Instagram and YouTube. And so I asked him very, directly, can we disinfect the green room? And his team was there. Big kind of a big link for that was actually his whole team was a gentleman named Alex Media on Instagram. He's like the video guy. He's the brains behind all the video for the podcast and things like that. And he was like, "This is incredible. What you're doing. This is going to be it changes live comedy, right? Because they're not operating, they're not able to do shows. That's a 3 months that they weren't able to perform. And he's like, you could see it on any a given movie set, to disinfect in between scenes, or you can have it in a live venue like that, or a nightclub like what you were doing. These places are going to need to adapt super fast if they plan to stay relevant or stay kind of alive in the sense of business and keep people safe.
Rage on that beat, going crazy.